good morning. It's another one of our first fives today. One of the fascinating things about the stories in the scriptures is we find they often relate to our own lives. Like this story from Matthew chapter 20, and it begins really with a mom who loves her sons. And I don't know about you, have you ever been around that helicopter parent? You know the one. I mean, maybe it's you if we're really honest. But the kind of parent that tries to pull every string, make sure their kid never fails, they get the front spot and everything. They just do anything, because that's kind of what we do as parents. We'll do anything for our kids, and we struggle sometimes to let go, to let them kind of fall where they may. And so I understand where the mom starts in this story, and Jesus takes this particular story and he kind of gives it as a teaching moment for us. And so maybe it can be a teaching moment for us today as well. From Matthew chapter 20, beginning with verse 20. Then the mother of the sons of Zebedee came to him with her sons, and kneeling before him, she asked for a favor. And he said to her, "What do you want?" She said to him, "Declare that these two sons of mine will sit one at your right hand and one at your left in your kingdom." But Jesus answered, "You don't know what you're asking. Are you able to drink the cup that I'm about to drink?" They said to him, "We're able." He said to them, "You will indeed drink my cup, but to sit at my right hand and at my left, this is not mine to grant, but it is for those for whom it has been prepared by my Father." When the 10 heard it, they were angry with the two brothers. But Jesus called them and said, "You know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and their great ones are tyrants over them. It will not be so among you, but whoever wishes to be great among you must be your servant, and whoever wishes to be first among you must be your slave, just as the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life a ransom for many." James and John's mom, she comes to Jesus and she says, "Hey, I believe you're going to be a king. I believe you are a king. And when you come into your kingdom, I know that the two most important positions are the person who sits to the left and to the right of you. So if it's not too much to ask, can my sons sit to the left and the right? In other words, can my sons be over everybody else except for you?" And then Jesus says, "Well, guys, I don't think you realize what my kingdom's like." And they're like, "Well, we do. We can drink from the cup you drink from." But then Jesus goes on to say, "Yeah, but here's how it works in my kingdom." And these words are so hard for us. "It will not be so among you, but whoever wishes to be great among you must be your servant. And whoever wishes to be first among you must be your slave." Right? So in other words, Jesus takes what's known in our culture as leadership, that's the top is up here and in charge, because it's everybody down below what to do. But he flips it in his kingdom and he says, here's how it works to be great in my kingdom requires serving others. We've been talking these weeks about what it looks like to serve others. And here's what Jesus says over and over and over again. Love serves. Love serves the other. Love doesn't say, hey, I want to sit at the left and the right, no matter how much of a helicopter parent we may be, no matter how much we may want to do the greatest thing for our kids. Probably the greatest thing we can do is teach them to serve. Because in service, we figure out what love looks like, what love does. And here's what's so crazy for us. This last line, just as the Son of Man, meaning himself, Jesus, came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. You may not have to die for your faith, but we can still give our life as a ransom for others by serving others, by taking the lowest place, by elevating others above ourselves. If we want to serve our kids in the best way or serve others, it's to teach them to serve, to put others above themselves, to love well. Sometimes these practices are difficult for us because they go against the grain of the world in which we live. But maybe you and I can embrace this practice of service to others. And when we serve, we begin to look more and more like Jesus. And we find we may not sit at his right and left because honestly, I don't really care. I just want to sit at his table. And he promises us there's lots of room. And so I look forward to the day I sit at his table. And until that day, I hope I live in such a way, and I hope you live in such a way that others are welcomed at our tables as well. May your day be filled with God's grace and peace and love.